Hello, I'm Ashley and welcome to my space here. I am going to be doing a little follow-up to the reading that I posted on my blog post and on my Instagram. So this is going to be a reading for the week of the 21st through the 27th. And the cards that I have pulled for this week are the Five of Swords and the Crown Chakra, which would be Archangel Uriel, the seventh crown chakra, or the seventh chakra. So it's our crown located at the top of our heads, and it is coming in reverse. So I'm feeling a lot of conflicting energy, and what really caught my attention right away was the 2 5s. So 4 plus 1 on this oracle card is 5, and then the Five of Swords. So yeah, this is the kind of energy that I'm feeling, is just like this energy of not listening to your divine guidance, like wanting to win at all costs. This is like a card of ego. It's a card of wanting to be right. It's a card of wanting to win. It's a card of like not caring who you hurt in the process of being right. What I'm picking up on, one of the words that I hear right away is humble, like humility. This is a week of maybe being humbled. We might be facing conflict. We might be facing challenges. Yeah, we might be feeling just kind of like, you might also, I'm picking up on like headaches. You might feel headaches or kind of like energy like pulsating at the crown of your head. We're actually receiving a lot of divine guidance right now, so it's very it makes a lot of sense that we're kind of blocking this divine guidance because we're not used to it. But when we open up to this divine guidance, it really regenerates our body and really invigorates us. It gives us this sense of like clarity, and this is not a card of clarity. 5 is a number of conflict. It's a number of chaos. It's a number of change. So if you think about that, we're going through a lot of changes right now. We're going through a lot of chaos in the world, and so we can this can make us want to look to like our familiar habits and to our familiar, and look to our ego, to like what is yeah, it's just like there's a lot of pride. I'm seeing a peacock, actually. That's so funny. So peacocks might be a message for you. It's also 11:11 right now as I look at the clock, so there's another message for you. But yeah, I'm picking up on this card of pride, and you see the purple here and the purple and the blue, so I'm picking up on peacock a lot. So peacocks might be a sign for you. And also you see here she's holding a book. I love Archangel Uriel. I love working with her. I'm picking up also on the Akashic Records. So really tapping into that infinite library of wisdom that's deep within ourselves. So this, what I'm picking up on right away, is that people are needing to be in the silence. They're needing to be in the quiet. They're needing to slow down. They're needing to be in the stillness. They're needing to quiet their minds, and their ego is battling this. So this is like a card of battle. So you might be battling. There might just be a lot of like, yeah, back and forth. You might be like, one minute you might be like following your heart or like really in tune to your heart, and the next you're like wanting to, you know, punch a hole in the wall, or like I'm just picking up on this energy of like aggression, but it's like this back and forth. It's like you know what to do, you're receiving this divine guidance, but at the same time you don't want to do it because you don't want to give in to your pride. You don't want to, this is also like, I don't want to look a certain way to people. You see that he's kind of like got this smirk on his face, and these people are kind of like in the background, like kind of like disappointed. It's like not caring, like not giving a shit about anybody else, and except for your own pride, except for your own ego. And I think this is like a narcissistic like awakening kind of that we're having, that a lot of people we're seeing, that we have such a narcissistic, this isn't just like people, this is a narcissistic culture, a society, a narcissistic society. And so we allow, we think that we know it all. We think that we have all the answers, and that's why this card is coming in the reverse, is because we don't know the answers. There's infinite amounts of knowledge that we do not know. I mean, not even the brightest scientists, not even the smartest engineers, they don't know it all. And these are the people that tend to believe, you know, that they know it all. The doctors, they don't know it all. We don't know it all. The astrologers, the astronomers, whatever, the healers, everybody, you know, we don't know half of anything. Like, you have to remember, that's why I heard the word humble, is because we don't know anything. You know, and we'd like to believe that we do. This could also be like a card of control, wanting to control things, wanting to control outcomes, wanting to control people, wanting to control environments, wanting to control your bank account, wanting to control your image. It's like not giving, like this is like, yeah, this is like kind of some harsh energy. So it could also deal with like your thoughts, and you might have a lot of negative thoughts right now, which actually might be important that we're healing right now. What I'm picking up on is when we tap into this card and it was like upright, You could think of it like purity, like having pure thoughts. And a lot of us, like, our purity is our power. And I'm not talking about like our virginity as our purity. I'm talking about pure thoughts, and thoughts of love, thoughts of harmony, thoughts of joy, thoughts of peace, thoughts of creativity. Those are like pure thoughts, because you think about it as children, we think very purely. We think like the best of the world. We think the best of the people. We think we trust people. This is a card of not trusting. This is like being paranoid. Like, this is a card of like, what's the word? Oh, shoot. It's like, it's kind of like resentment, but it's not. That's not what it is. It's like revenge. That's the word I hear. Revenge. Somebody wants to get like revenge on somebody, and it's like, it's because they're really hurting. And so instead of their pride being like, okay, I've been hurt, it's like they put up this defense and they go to battle, and they're like, no, I'm going to win. Like, I'm going to prove my point. That's kind of the attitude I'm kind of picking up with these cards, is like, I'm right, you're wrong. You know, and we kind of squash those pure thoughts of children at a very young age, because as parents, we believe that we are dictators of our children rather than like guardians of our children, and that we're here to like help them to evolve and to help them express their highest form of themselves. Which when we connect to our crown chakra, we are connected to the highest version of ourselves, our most purest form of ourselves. So like I was saying, it's like getting back to these pure thoughts. So you might have a lot of negative thoughts right now, and maybe it's important to just observe these and rather not react from them. Like, watch your language, or watch how you're speaking to people, because the swords represent communication as much as they represent our thoughts. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I'm picking up right away here, is like this energy of knowing what you need to do but not really listening. So I think that's the word for this week, is listen. Really listen. Take the time to listen. This is like not wanting to listen, like maybe like not listening with your heart, but being really offended. Like maybe you get triggered or you get really offended by things people are doing or saying right now. And this is really teaching you how to go within and how to like have more pure, positive, uplifting thoughts that can bring you out of this energy of like conflict, or out of this energy of like chaos. And this is like bitterness, and yeah, just like, oh, it's not a very good energy. Not to say that if you're in this energy that means you're bad, because I don't believe anything is bad. I believe it's an experience and it's all teaching us something, and I believe it's teaching us how to reunite with our higher selves to be the best version of ourselves possible. And I think that's what the crown chakra in reverse is telling us here. So with that being said, I'm going to do some clarifiers here. Because if you came here, I want you to get a little bit more information. Because like I said, this will be posted in the blog post, so you'll already kind of receive that. That one kind of flew out, but I'm going to put it back. And then so, let's see what's going on that we're not seeing clearly. What's going on behind the scenes? What are we learning that we're not seeing clearly right now? Like, what's not making sense? Yeah, like what lesson are we immersed in right now? Because right now you might only be able to see the negative. Like, this is kind of like an energy of feeling trapped in your own mind. Alright, Spirit, what is going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing clearly? What are we learning behind the scenes? Okay, 6 of Wands. So we went from a 5 to a 6, so we're progressing. This is the Wands, though. This is funny, though, because this is also a card of, not only is it a card of victory, but it's a card of pride. And you have to be careful, because I was saying, like, I was seeing the peacock, and, like, the peacock represents, like, pride and ego. It's, like, because this could be, like, this is, like, wanting to be recognized, wanting to, yeah, just, like, yeah, it's a card of, like, recognition. So, like, it is a card of victory, and it's not a bad card, necessarily, but it can be, like, it can go too far on one side, and it can be, like, too much pride, too much ego, too much, like, wanting to be recognized for your whatever it is for you, whatever you want to be recognized for. But it's also, yeah, like a card of victory, and I feel like that's what we're learning, or we're not seeing clearly, is that we will be victorious, because this is a card of, like, wanting to win, right? And this is a card of actually winning. This is a card of, like, being victorious. You see she's riding on her horse. She's, like, has all these people around her. Like, maybe they're cheering her on. Like, who knows? Maybe they're booing her, too. You never know. So, but I just feel like it's this, horses could also be a message for you. Yeah, I just feel like it's this energy of, like, moving forward, or moving beyond this conflict, moving beyond needing to be right, moving beyond needing to be recognized, and really just like accepting yourself. That's kind of the energy I'm getting there, is like needing to accept yourself, needing to recognize yourself, most of all, like recognize how far you've come, recognize, okay, instead of like putting yourself down, or maybe only recognizing, because could be like a card of the past, or you see how he's kind of looking back, like it could be like a card of like like looking back at past things of maybe when you've been prideful, or you've been too much caught up in your ego, and you might like not want to admit those things to yourself, but it's like as you do that, you begin to learn the lesson, you begin to integrate the lesson, and then you feel this sense of like victory, you feel this sense of like, wow, like I moved beyond that. I'm no longer so caught up in my ego. I'm no longer like wanting to win at all costs. I no longer need to be right in order to feel validated. I no longer need to be right in order to like feel in control, or feel like have a sense of self-worth, or have a self-image. It's like really letting go of the ego. And as you do that, you will be victorious, is what I'm getting. So that's what we're not seeing clearly, is like focusing on how you can thrive, focusing on, it's 11:11, as I said that on my computer, like the time. So I've seen 11:11 twice now, that's crazy. So that might be a synchronicity for you as well. I've seen lots of synchronicities lately, so let's get a little clarifier here about this Six of Wands that we're not seeing clearly. So the swords could represent Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if that applies to you. Wands could represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So we have air and fire so far. Those don't have to apply, but if they do, you can take it. So what are we not seeing clearly, Spirit, with this Six of Swords here? Or sorry, Six of Wands. We're not seeing clearly. Okay, yes, this makes so much sense. So we have rest and rejuvenation, but it's coming in reverse. So this makes so much sense with the crown chakra in reverse too. It's like not taking the time, like I was saying, not taking the time to be in this stillness, not taking the time to be quiet, not taking the time to retreat. And this is saying that if you do take this time to retreat and to listen, like I was saying, that you will be victorious. But right now you might be trying to listen too much to your ego and to the voices of the past, or the voices of, like I said, the voices of ego that will tell you lies in order to make sure that you come out on top, so that you feel good about yourself. The ego will try to satisfy you right away. It wants immediate gratification, just kind of like this recognition card. It wants immediate gratification, but we don't always get that, and we have to be able to gratify our own selves. We have to be able to validate ourselves, and if our validation only comes from the outside world, if our validation only comes from other people, then of course we're gonna, constantly be like cutting other people down. This could be like this in order to make ourselves feel better about ourselves, or constantly, like residing in our ego as a way to feel in control, rather so like people see us a certain way, because this could be like wanting to be seen in a certain light too, is what I'm picking up. So this is like saying to go within. This is like you might be avoiding resting, you might be avoiding taking a break, you might be avoiding the quiet, you might be avoiding your heart space, because your heart space might be totally conflicting to what your mind is saying. Your mind is going to try to talk you out of things. Your mind is going to say, what if that, what if this, what if that, like what if this goes wrong, what if that happens. But your heart, it will lead you in the right direction. And this is kind of a card of like leadership and being led and allowing your heart to lead. Like I said, depends. Like you can go one way. It can be like ego leading the way. Excuse me. I'm picking up on the throat chakra. As you can hear that in my voice, and you see this card is kind of blue. So you might just be resisting, saying, hey, I need to take a break, or hey, I need to take a time out, or yeah. But if you do, you will be victorious. So yeah, I'm picking up on that there needs to be time to rest so that you can receive this information, because both these cards are about receptivity. This is about our feminine energy and needing to be in the stillness, but I'm picking up a lot on the ego, which would be like more of our like distorted masculine energy. So maybe we're healing this distorted masculine energy that, needs to be in control, that needs to win, that needs to like sit on my high horse and like, reign supreme. It's just like, that's kind of our distorted masculine energy, because our feminine energy kind of like goes with the flow. And like I said, the feminine energy really validates herself. The divine masculine, he encourages himself. He allows himself to rest. He allows his intuition to lead him. So we're really it's like right now with both these cards, I hear resisting intuition. So really resisting your heart's true calling in order to like be seen a certain way, or in order to like protect your ego and not be like, okay, because this could be like around failure, or like this could be failure around a job, failure around a relationship, whatever it is. It's like this not wanting to fail. It's like this huge resistance around failing. But for me, failure is not real. Failure is an opportunity to go in a new direction. And that's probably what this, because this is knowledge. This is divine knowledge. We tend to believe that knowledge only comes from the ego, it only comes from the mind, but that is not true. Actually, that's the intelligence that we want to receive, that we can go in a new direction, especially globally, in a world sense, is that we need to be connecting to our divine intelligence, the intelligence that comes from our heart space, not that comes from years of conditioning that got us here in the first place. All right, and then lastly, we're going to do, what is your advice? Woo! One's falling on the ground. Let me pick that up here. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take this as the advice because it makes so much sense. So we have temperance as the advice. This could represent Sagittarius energy, so more fire energy. But this is a card of emotional balance. This is balancing the masculine and feminine energies within us, which I was saying, which is more like the thoughts, the ego, and the intuition. So really balancing these energies within ourselves so we feel more stable. You see how she's an angel. You might have a guardian angel that's protecting you right now, especially if you're feeling a lot of conflict. This could be conflict in relationships, conflict in homes, conflict in whatever the conflict is for you. It could be any sort of battle that's really tiresome and that's really wearing you out. And this could just be a battle within your heart and your mind. This could just be a battle within yourself. It doesn't even have to be externally. But what tends to happen is when we have this battle within ourselves, we begin to see these battles externally. And they can be in little arguments that pop up, and just like these little things. So it's just like showing you where you need to be more at peace. So I'm picking up on a card of peace here also with this card here. This is a card, this rest and rejuvenation is a card to meditate more, to make more time to meditate. This is a card that could be to connect to nature, to just connect to your emotions more, connect to your intuition, which would be this, you know. So we're really learning how to come back to our intuition, it feels like, this week, to kind of come out of our minds, to come out of our egos, to surrender. That's what I hear, surrender with this card. I love the temperance card. I think it brings such a lighthearted, beautiful energy. It's like this energy of protection. You are divinely protected. I want you to know that, whoever's watching this, you are protected. You have angels looking out for you. All you have to do is call upon them. You have to connect with them. You have to make your relationship with your angels a priority. You have to connect with them every single day. You can do this through meditation, and they will bring you such a sense of security, such a sense of support, such a sense of nurturing and love that you won't have to like battle anymore. And like they'll bring, like, I'm picking up on rose quartz, so like you might want to get that crystal, or just be near the water. You see she's near the water, or maybe flowers for your home, or drink more water. I'm just picking up on connecting more with the element of water. You see there's a lot of blue on this card, and I was picking up on the throat chakra, so Archangel Gabriel. And yeah, connecting with the water, connecting with the sky, connecting with your emotions, so you can let them lead you rather than your mind. All right, lastly, what is your advice for us with temperance here, Spirit? Yeah, it's just a card of emotional healing, so you might be healing right now. You might have ancestors, or you might have a past loved one that's a female that's watching over you. I'm picking up on that too, like a grandmother or an aunt or even a mother. So take what resonates for you. Remember, leave the rest. Always listen to your own intuition above else. What is your advice with temperance? Oh yes, we had another Archangel show up, and he's probably one of my favorites. We have Archangel Raphael, color green, which I was perfect for getting outside. You see there's a little bit of green on this card, but this is heart healing, so this makes so much sense. Your heart is expanding, your heart is opening. As you begin to balance your masculine and feminine energies within yourself, your intuition and your logic, you begin to open your heart and expand your energy field, and this draws in money. Think of money as the color green. This draws in harmonious relationships. So when we went from this battling energy, we got both two angels for the advice. We have angel with this temperance on the card, and we have this angel, Archangel Raphael. You can always call upon him. He's been helping me to really comfort myself. I imagine his wings and this green, and it's like I work with the color green and pink with him. These really pretty green and pink colors that really help you to feel consoled, comforted, connected. Like, this is a card of connection, and really when we connect to our heart space, we find this connection that's infinite and eternal, and that's totally this meditation card too. And as we open up to meditation, we open up our heart space and we open up our crown chakra, and we no longer resist. I get this card with this card, this Five of Swords. It's this resistance to our intuition, the resistance to our heart's own knowing, our resistance to our soul's knowing. So I love that Archangel Raphael showed up. He's beautiful, benevolent. Like, this says to connect to grain foods, connect to the earth, connect to nature, connect to your body, take care of your body, nurture your body, give it green foods, drink green smoothies. Like, just incorporate maybe the color green into your wardrobe, like green crystals, like labradorite or aventurine. Those are great to work with him. You can infuse his energy. And this is also number 11, so I like that 11 showed up. All right. So that's the advice for this week, and I'm going to pull one more from Chakra Insights and read you that message, and then this will be it for this week. So I hope this was helpful for you. You can definitely book a reading with me. I'll leave all the information below. And yeah, let's get one final message. What is the overall message for us right now, Spirit? No way. Okay, so of course I pulled the heart chakra, number 22, which I love this card, all the green. This is exactly the same exact card pretty much as Archangel Raphael. So we have some heart healing going on. I'll read this to you. Love, peace, compassion, unity, universal consciousness, emotional balance, which is funny because that's what this is, emotional balance. Forgiveness, relationships, joy. Bathed in a sky of pure air and fluffy white clouds, emitting rays of positive energy, rises Anahata, our heart chakra. A circular flower with 12 green petals evenly surrounds a yantra of 2 intersecting triangles forming a 6-pointed star, called the Star of David within Jewish tradition. This symbol, that might be a symbol for you or a message for you, this symbol surrounded by a circle represents the integrated union of male and female as a living bridge between heaven and earth. Makes so much sense. This union of souls and connection with the earth and the divine reminds us of the essence of oneness and the interconnectedness of all life. Our heart chakras beat in unison with the pulse of divinity. Beautiful. Okay, this says, research shows us that the electromagnetic field of the heart is many times greater than that of our rational thinking brain. Our heart has intelligence and wisdom that sees well beyond the surface of life to the energetic essence in all moments. When we open our hearts, we feel expansive and infinite, like a vast open sky. I love connecting to the sky. This card encourages a space of openness and free-flowing love. When we keep ourselves stuck in hurt or blame or resentment, our heart center closes, shutting us off from our true nature and connection with life. As we allow ourselves to forgive, to accept, and have compassion for others and ourselves, it is like removing logs from a river and re-engaging with the greater flow of life. It is time to openly give and receive love. Let this great power center of your heart heal wounds and build bridges of genuine connection in all areas of your life. There is no place that love cannot be of deep service. Like a spring breeze, that's perfect because it's spring right now, through the trees, your heart has the capacity to see and move beyond all apparent obstacles with grace and ease. Just as your heart keeps blood moving through your body, your heart chakra keeps love moving through the channels of your life. It is time now to awaken to the power of your heart chakra. This card encourages generosity, giving, and sharing. It encourages you to also welcome these changes into your life with open arms and a welcoming heart. And this is the affirmations that it has listed here. I am open to accepting love from others, and I am worthy of this love. My choices come from love. Peace fills my heart. I love easily and freely with others and myself. I love, I am loved, I am love. That is perfect. I feel like that was the perfect message and kind of summed up everything, this balancing of the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, letting go of this resentment and really focusing on like forgiveness and love, mostly for ourselves, and then when we do it for ourselves, we can extend that same energy to others. So This is a great week for opening up the heart chakra to really get quiet and listen to yourself, listen to your soul, listen to your intuition. Above all else, our mind, may want to barge in and tell us lies, but you can kind of, the ego will be a little bit obnoxious. It will tell us, it will kind of try to bring us down. It will try to make us hurt our hearts. That's when you know you're in the ego. But when you're in your heart, you feel this sense of support. You feel this sense of forgiveness. So really maybe connecting to Christ or Jesus if you work with him. His energy is perfect and beautiful. And another great one would be Mother Mary. She's also associated with the color green, the connection to the earth. So I think that's really important this week, is to really carve out time to stop resisting this knowledge, to stop resisting the wisdom that comes from your heart space, and to really allow yourself to relax. And it's going to be hard if we didn't, we're in a very masculine society that tells us to go, go, go. So it can be really challenging for us to actually make ourselves sit down. Just like we want a kid to rest, and we want a kid to, when they're getting kind of cranky and, they're throwing tantrums, maybe we know sometimes they need to take a rest. They need to take a time out. They need a little break. But we very often forget to do that for ourselves as adults. And I think it's really important that we learn to care for ourselves in that way, so that we can extend that love and we can extend that care to other people, especially the relationships in our lives, maybe with our children, with our spouses, with our partners, with our jobs, and with our communities, and with the world at large. So I think it's really important to carve out time to truly listen and be with your heart, and listen to its wisdom, listen to its knowledge, and listen to your body. Your body might be feeling worn down, it might be feeling exhausted, and your ego can kind of want to make you keep going, keep going, keep going. You have to do, you have to produce, you have to constantly be taking action in order to validate your self-worth or your productivity. And the divine just wants to love you, and it can only love you, it can only sink into you as much as you allow it to. So I encourage you to open up yourself this week, to truly dive into your heart space, and I'm sending you so much love and so much healing energy, and I will be back next week with another reading. Take care.